go. Yeah, we're back up again. I think the connection wasn't that good. I went ahead and rebooted my phone. I'm connected now to also to the antenna that we have on our building. So we are having some storms roll in. So that may have been the issue that we had. Appreciate everybody in here. Here we go. Back up and running. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, welcome back. Welcome in, welcome in. Making baits. Welcome in, welcome in. That's what I'm making right there. Appreciate everybody coming in. I'm not seeing any chats. I'm going to change up the chat filter here. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for coming in. Hope everybody's having a great day. Heather Ashrot, welcome in. These are for fishing. These are for fishing lures. Hello there, Alan. How is that lead? The lead's, I guess it's pretty good. Sure hope it is. Hey there, Ramdev. Welcome in, everybody. Okay, we're going to break these dudes off. This is what they look like when they come out of the mold. And then I just break this piece off. That way it's round. Now, how many do I make and are for sale? I make pretty close to 100,000 jigs a year. And yes, I do sell them. My house would be pretty cluttered if I didn't sell them. Yeah, but I'm not in my house either. I got a workshop. We do have a website. We got a link in the bio. We have a link in our bio. Yeah, we have about 7 different sizes, 60, 70 different colors. We have a lot of different profiles. I make basically hand-tied lures. No, it's not. No, it's not. Lead's only toxic if you get it in your bloodstream, or if you get it in your lungs. Yeah, years ago I got certified by the federal government to work in and around lead. The job that I worked at had nothing to do with making lures. I did housing and building inspections for lead paint, asbestos, mold, and so I had to get certified to work in and around lead. And you can't, I mean, you could touch lead all you want. I mean, it has to get into your bloodstream or your lungs. It gets in your lungs like lead dust because it's a heavy metal. It's hard for it to be extracted. So I've been working with in and around lead for about 18 years altogether. I've only been making lures, it'll be 15 years in November. Now, I've been doing this full time since, 2012? So, that makes it, 13 years I've been doing this full time? That's what that looks like right there. This will go back in the pot. My remount. How much do they weigh? These are 1/8 ounce. These are 1/8 ounce. We do make them as small as a 1/80th and as big as a 1/4 ounce. Yeah, we sell packs of lures for anywhere from $4 to $10 a pack. Again, I do appreciate everybody in the channel. Thank you so much. We are already at 25 likes. I did reset the live stream. We just didn't. I don't think I had a good connection. So this is my second time going live, doing what I'm doing. I'm primarily going to be doing 1/8 ounce today, pouring. We got to paint a bunch of jig heads. We got to put some eyes on some, and then I got to tie some up too. A lot of lures to make. We've already picked up 3 tackle stores this weekend. So we're going to be in. We're going to be at Roland Martin's Marine and Tackle in Florida. Also the Quick Stop on the south end of the lake. Also on the north end of the lake, we also picked up Gerard's. Also Lake Placid, and we're probably going to get a couple more tackle stores next week. The Harbor Freight white, it worked good. It actually worked good. Oh, thank you. Yeah. The black doesn't work, and I got a full thing of black up there. It's a flat black. It's not shiny, but the white works great. The white is shiny. The black has no gloss to it whatsoever. I've had that white paint sitting up there for like 3 or 4 years, and I never touched it. But yeah, it works great. I did test it out for hardness and all that, and it checks out pretty clear. Pretty good. Let's see here. Oh, that's a long comment. Now, I've never tested positive for lead. I get tested a few times a year, and I don't, and I've had to do studies on it. So I had to get certified to work with it. But it may absorb, but it's not showing up on me or in me. Yeah, I do get lead tested a couple times a year. Okay, Alan. Okay, I am the pro in this channel, not you. I've been working with lead probably a lot longer than him. Yeah, we get the lead police in here at times. I call them the lead police because Yeah, because you can't. Yeah, the only ways to get toxic lead poisoning is through, unless I'm sleeping in it or something, and it's all dusted. Maybe that way. But every time I go get lead tested, they ask if I've been eating it or drinking it or smoking it or whatever. So I don't have any positive results from the lead test. I've been getting tested for about 17 years, and I've never tested positive for lead. Now, the construction workers that because I worked for a construction firm, they would have to wear safety gear because they're tearing and demolishing walls and doing stuff like that. And they would have to wear protective gear because they would have to worry about lead dust floating everywhere, But I don't deal with a lot of dust. I don't grind these jig heads down and make lead dust everywhere. Hey there, Raphael. Or is it Raphael? Yep, Raphael. I'm probably going to get an email or something soon. Let's see, I'm going to reset the chat filter to top messages. Let's see if I'm missing any messages in here. But I'm pouring lead. These are for lures here, handmade lures, hand-tied lures. Again, I do appreciate everybody in here. Thank you for coming in. The lead is not bad for the water. There's a little bit of lead in all water for the most part. I mean, there's actually lead in people's body systems. Lead's everywhere. You get too much lead in you and it'll mess you up. It's the same as with iron. You get too much iron or vitamin D or anything in you, it'll mess your body up. I do get tested every so often. My doctor's husband, my doctor is a female. Her husband works at a foundry where they work with lead all the time. So she knows, unless I get some cut on my vein or whatever and the lead gets in there, or if I'm breathing it in, it's really hard to get lead poisoning. I do work in a very big, a pretty decent sized shop, I guess. It's small, but it's pretty wide open. I do have ventilation system in here. Yeah, sometimes we get the lead police in here and they want to show everybody how much stuff they know. Yep, thank you so much there. Is that Stardust? Yep, thank you again, buddy. Hey there, Remington. Yeah, $50, only 46 likes. Yep. Oh, 550 people. Yeah, we had a lot of people in here now. Yeah, I think our connection wasn't that good a while ago. We have been getting some storms here, so I went ahead and connected to the. We have an antenna on our building uh, that is also an enhancer for our Wi-Fi, but it also connects me to whatever towers directly to the towers too. That helps out quite a bit. Yeah, we've already had the lead police come in here. They're trying to tell me. They're trying to tell me stuff that goes against whatever I learned when I went to lead school. I did have to study lead for about 6 weeks. I know it may not be a long time, but all those tree-hugging fools. Let's go. Let's get those likes up, guys. Hey there, Jason. What made you get into the business? I got into the business by accident. I had an accident at work, and I tore up my rotator cuffs. I couldn't lift up my hands above my head, and so I loved fishing. I was bass fishing, catfishing at the time when I got hurt, and I was out of work for about a year and a half, going through therapy, recovery, and so my wife was like, "Why don't you just go fishing at the Claremore dock?" So that's what I did, and I had never caught a crappie in my life, never caught a crappie, never eaten crappie. I knew what they looked like to some extent, and I started crappie fishing. And I would fish. My very first plastics were these worms, 8-inch worm or whatever. I would cut them down and put them on a hook because I didn't have a lot of money. And so little by little, I started buying plastics, hand-tied lures, and these guys were catching a lot of crappie on these little bitty baits, little bitty teeny-weeny baits. I couldn't find any of those baits, like at Bass Pro or the local tackle stores. So I bought me a kit from Nabatac Outdoors. They have our lures these days. I bought me a kit from there that had a vise, had thread, had things to make lures, and that's how I got into making lures, because I wanted to make these little bitty 1/80th ounce jigs. And that's how I did it, and then there was that first year and a half, 2 years, I started making baits. I started catching these really big crappie, and I was catching a lot of crappie. And I was catching these big crappie where they weren't supposed to have big crappie. So I did some newspaper interviews and magazine interviews and radio shows. And on top of that, people were already starting to buy my lures. Back then, I was selling a jig for like 25 cents. And I wasn't in it to make money. I was just in it to be happy. And as long as I bought enough material where I could make my own baits, I was happy doing that. I wasn't really making any money. And then it got to the point where I had, I started going up in price, because I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, I might as well make a little bit of money. And on top of that, I had a tackle store approach me to make lures for them. JD's Tackle here in town, they're not open any longer. And I started making lures for him for crappie time jigs. And that was my very first branding of jigs, was crappie time jigs. And he would sell his jigs. The jigs I made, him and a few other people made them for him. to a lot of the local tackle stores in the area, and it got to the point where the baits I was making, people started noticing that my baits held up a lot better than all these other baits. That the people that were making them for this fella JD, and they would go into his store asking for the ones that I tied. They didn't really care about the color too much. They just wanted the jigs that I tied because they knew they were going to catch more than 50 or 100 crappie with them. So just over the years, I just got more publicity and more people watching, and I started putting pictures up on Facebook, and we had an eBay store, Etsy store. We had all kinds of, I think we had a GoDaddy website too at one point. And then we, after a couple of years, my wife and I were like, I think we're making some money on this now. We ought to open up an account, get all our tax work done. And so that's what we did. We had to come up with a name. And I had been under the Hill Country Jig Company, Green Country Jig Company, because we live in Green Country here in Oklahoma. And I grew up in the Hill Country in Texas, but there's not a lot of crappie fishing down there. So my wife was like, why don't we just call it Ruben Flores Jig Company? You know, everybody knows you, Ruben, and, you know, let's just go with that. And so anyway, that's what we ended up going with. So I got a very smart wife. You guys could thank her for that. Hey there, Gabe. Hey there, Jason. Oh, you are a Hill Country boy too. I grew up in Kerrville, Texas. That's where I grew up at. I appreciate everybody coming in. We got 75 likes. We got 1,200 people in here, guys. Yeah, I grew up in Kerrville, Texas. I moved away to Florida when I was about 18. Lived there till I was about 24, I guess. I went to Bible college out in California. Got saved, became a Christian, and went to Bible college out in California. Then I moved here in 1995. Met my wife at Walmart, of all places. We got married probably about 10 or 11 months later, and then about a year and a half later, we had some kids. We had twins, and then about 3 years later, we had a little boy. Now that little boy is twice as big as me. Big old kid. Netherlands. Oh wow. Oh cool. Hey there, Burke. Yep. Let me get do we have the website up? Well, Burke just put it there. I'm sorry if you guys have been pinning up the website or putting it up. I'm gonna put Burke's up there. Welcome in, Burke. How's it going there, brother? Brother from Norway. My baby brother. That's who it is. My baby brother. Hey there, Auntie. Hey there, Water Fox. Hey there, everybody. Thank you guys for coming in. I am pouring up jig heads. We got a bunch of big orders I have to complete here in the next 3 weeks or so. But ever since I started crappie fishing, I pretty much quit bass fishing for like largemouth bass. I do go out and get sand bass, but they're not like a largemouth bass. I still love catfishing. I still catfish all the time. Oh, good afternoon. How's it going there, Dalton? Good. I love doing what I do, and it's for me, it's fun to make baits. I don't get how do I say? I don't get burnt out or anything. I've got to see a lot of people go into business making lures, and a lot of times they get burnt out somewhere in the 3rd to 5th year. they just get burnt out. I don't know if they just don't get challenged enough. I don't know if they just get bored. I don't know if they just get overworked because they started a business and they kind of fizzle out. But usually it's between year 3 and year 5. Yeah, most people decide to get out of the bait making business, whether it be plastics or hand-tied jigs or fly fishing flies. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, guys. Oh, we got 2,000. That's the first time we've hit 2,000 here on YouTube. Appreciate everybody coming in, guys. Our record for likes is like 600 and something. You know, today would be a good day to break it, though. Now, I do appreciate everybody on the channel, guys. You guys are awesome. These are 1/8 ounce lures here. They'll get cleaned up, they'll get painted up. These will get eyes on these here. Make sure to subscribe because I do different facets of bait making all the time. Sometimes I'll do live streams where I'm painting the heads. Yesterday I was doing a live stream while I was putting eyes on them and also tying them up. Right now we have some big orders that are going to be somewhere between, I don't know, we're looking at about 1,000 to 1,500 packs of jigs. So let's just go high on the high side. 1,500 times 3. What does that mean? 1,500 times 3. What does that equal up to? What's that about? What, 4,500 jigs I got to have? I do tie a lot of lures though. Yesterday I tied somewhere between 200 and 300. Welcome in, welcome in. Pork rind. I don't do anything like that, no. Let's see, hanging out. Ruben. Research. Yep, well done. Oh, thank you. 4,500, there you go. Yep. So I got to have about 4,500 jigs for these. Now we picked up 3 tackle stores between Friday and yesterday, and we actually picked up a 4th one last night, and then we're gonna probably pick up another 2 or 3 tackle stores, all based out of Florida. So if you guys live around the Okeechobee area, and there's a couple of other lakes and rivers in the area, we're going to be picking up a bunch of these tackle stores. We picked up a really good salesperson who's our broker, and he's getting us in a bunch of these stores. He's doing a lot of the footwork. He's getting paid to do it, so he's our first paid salesperson. He is our first paid salesperson. I thought our first paid salesperson would probably be my son-in-law, but he works for a good company. I don't think he's going to leave that company anytime soon. I appreciate everybody coming in, guys. Yep, the nice hustle. Yep. Yeah. I'm super stoked about it. We're also looking at getting into some tackle stores in Mississippi, Alabama. So we're looking to get a bunch more tackle stores. I don't know if we're going to hire anybody right now. I can keep up. I can legitimately keep up with about 30 or 40 tackle stores. Right now, I think we got about 20 now. I'll be running around like crazy though, but my wife will be counting the paychecks. She likes it when the money's coming in. Who knows? This may be the way that my wife can leave teaching and work for the company full time. She does work for us part time though. I work for you, LOL. Do any tackle places around me? I'll drop in and check. Yeah. Well, that's what this guy does. This guy does it full time. He's a full-time salesperson, so he does bass lures for companies, fishing line. He does fishing rods, sells bass lures, crappie lures. He does, I think he does with plastics too. But he has a lot of connections, and so he does it full time. He's also a professional bass angler too. So he does a really good job at what he does. He has a lot of get go and hustle to him. So, and I'm not telling you guys his name right now because I know there's another bait maker that wants to have him. Probably the feet lower. Yep, to the bottom near the brush, then slowly raise up. Yes, slowly raise it up. And wait for the bite. Oldest brother, dad opened a tackle store last year. He might want to do one. Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah. Yeah. So right now, what we're tackling, what we're going for, are the tackle stores that have crappie fishing near them. Because in the past, the most tackle stores I've ever had at one point was like 45 or 50 tackle stores. And the tackle stores I was getting into, and this is back in the day when I was on the road, you know, at least one day a week. I was driving around all over Oklahoma and trying to get into tackle stores. My problem back then was I was hungry and eager just to get into any tackle store. It did, you know, I wanted that first sale because I knew the first sale is going to be the biggest sale because, you know, they're loading up for the first time. I didn't realize that some of these stores that I was getting into were not crappie fishing stores. Some of them were bass. I mean, they had stuff for crappie and bass fishing and catfishing. They just weren't primarily a den for crappie fishermen. And so that's what we're getting into right now is the stores that we are getting into are strong crappie stores. I mean, Roland Martin and his tackle store up there is for crappie and for bass. You know, they do sell a lot of crappie stuff there. But that was my thing back then. I'm not a good salesperson, and on top of that, I was getting into stores where you would find my jigs like right next to the popcorn machine or something. My jigs were right next to the Wonder Bread, and in some of these convenience stores that were also tackle stores. Hey, welcome in, guys. I appreciate all you guys. Appreciate all the help too, guys. We still got 750 people in here. These are 1/8 ounce that I'm doing right now. We got to make a bunch of these heads. Dalton, were you the one? I can't remember if it was you. I think it was you that won the hat. We had a subscriber giveaway last month. Not a subscriber, but a membership giveaway. Did you get your hat? I think that was you that won it. I couldn't remember. We shipped out a hat. I couldn't remember if it was you or if it was Drew that won. This is for making lures. This is a mold here that I'm using. We sent out a Flowcast hat to either you or Drew. I can't remember which one. But we did a membership drawing. We're going to be doing another membership drawing this Friday. We'll probably do a couple of them. We'll do one for the Ultimate Jig Nation membership, and then for all the other for all the other members, we'll do a different giveaway. Okay, let's get some of the yuckies out of here. Let's get some of these boogers out of here. Uh-oh. You got lead coming out of the bottom. Let's see. I love the hat. Oh, yeah, okay, you're the one. Okay, yep. I couldn't remember if it was you or Drew. Let me grab some more coffee here. Now, we did a mystery box giveaway. Not last week, but the week before. And old Wayman won it. Wayman won that one there. But yeah, this Friday we'll be doing a membership drawing. We didn't do a drawing this Friday because we got 0 donations. 0 donations this week. Was not a good week for donations. That's the first week I've gone with well, we ended up getting a donation Friday afternoon, but it'll go towards next week. Somebody from Denmark donated $10, so his name will be in the drawing for next week. So we do drawings. We try to have drawings every week. And if you do live outside the country and you want a drawing, you got to pay for your own shipping, because a couple months ago we did a drawing and man, it wiped us out. It's like $100 and something for all the shipping we had to do that week. These here again are 1/8 ounce. These are a number 1 hook. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Yeah, these will be turned into lures that kind of look like that, but they'll have eyes on them. Those are just round heads there. Again, I do appreciate everybody in the house. Thank you guys for coming in. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. We're getting pretty close to 15K on subscribers. My goal is to hit 100K by the end of the, well, not this end of the year, but by next summer, I'm hoping we have at least 100K subscribers. By the end of the year, I'm hoping we can get up to, I don't know, 30 to 50, somewhere in there. We might get it. Who knows? Hey there, Tage. Is that Tage or Toggy? I'll just say Tage. Hey there, Tage. I do go live pretty much every day. These here are 1/8 ounce. This here is the number 1 mustad sickle hook with the 90-degree bend in it. That's what it looks like that. Put this in the mold, pour some lead in there, and then it'll look like this. And then shortly after, it'll look like it'll end up looking like this with eyes on them. And so we had somebody text me or they sent me a message. They want to buy jig heads with eyes. We just can't do that right now. I do have a hard time keeping up with them. I do try to stay ahead, but a lot of times, all those jigs I saw in the box, those will be tied up here this upcoming week sometime. They'll be put up on the wall. Some of them will be out the door by next week. Right now we do sell round jig heads that are painted. We're probably going to pull those off the website here probably at the end of next month if we don't sell any. We just don't sell hardly any. So we're probably going to pull back on that. These here again are 1/8 ounce. Okay, we have to pull out a new box here in just a little bit. Welcome in. Hey there, Mike. Which ones did you say you were pulling back on? We're probably going to pull out of the round jig heads that are painted. And we're probably going to pull out of the unpainted round jig heads too. We're gonna take them off the website. We're going to give them one more month. We're going to give them the month of October. And if we don't really sell any, we're probably going to pull them off the website. We just haven't been selling them. Let's see. Hey there, Wisco. Is it Wisconsin? What jig mold are these? I don't give out this jig mold because if I give it out, other people are going to have it. And some of the molds I don't give out the names. But I use a lot of Do It molds. Those you can get them at Tackle Bandit or Do It or wherever like that. This one here was one of the first ones that was ever made, and by this company, and they went through some legality type stuff at the time. But the guy who had the patent for this mold, I don't know him really well, but he knew me through Facebook, and he liked the work that we were doing, and he's like, yeah. He goes, don't worry, you won't be involved in any of this. Some of the stuff I give out information, but on other stuff I don't, just because for competitive purposes and stuff. But if you type up Pillhead mold, you'll probably find it on the internet somewhere. Before I started using this mold, I used to paint the jig heads with eyes. And there's still a lot of people that do that. Let's see. Yeah, just because if I give out all the different, that's one of the reasons we uh, got into some of these tackle stores recently, is they like the heads. They didn't have anybody they knew of that could uses the same heads, and so it's just one of them things. There's a bunch of CNC companies that make molds, and you could probably find them out there. We do get a lot of our material from Wopsy, and you do have to have all your credentials. You got to have a freestanding brick and mortar type building. You got to have all your tax numbers. I had somebody get mad at me a couple months ago. They were like, well, I want to sell material like you do, and I want to get wholesale material on all these skeins and stuff, but why won't you just sell me what you have? I'm like, I just can't. We do sell, no, excuse me, we do sell skeins, but we don't sell the skeins of the Wopsy stuff because we have an agreement with them. Okay, let's get these potted up or bowled up. That's good because the head, it looks flatter. Yeah, it is. It's a pretty flat head. Yeah. Is that to glue? Yeah, we glue eyes on them. Yeah. Yeah, I might take you guys over to the eye section here in a little bit. We'll do some eyes. Yeah, I glue the eyes on. Do-It does make a freestyle mold where you can put the eyes in them. And they're pretty good molds. They're pretty good molds. We've had a couple of people we brought in the shop before too, and they wanted to work for us, and I would train them, and they would come in, a couple days a week or whatever. And the next thing I know, they're starting their own bait company. And it's like, we're training them to compete against us. So I try to watch out on some of the information I give out. A lot of times, if you just look closely, you could see what brand of this or that. You can see some of the machinery or whatever we're using to help fabricate lures. My dream is to have a bigger building. I'd love to have a big metal building and be able to have a designated area where we make the jig heads and we mass produce them. That way we could sell them. Because we do have a lot of these spin cast molds, and I'm hoping that maybe this spring we can afford to get a spin cast machine, a new one. Our old one broke down and we just can't get it fixed for some reason or another. I don't know what's wrong with it. Again, I do appreciate everybody coming in. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. These here are 1/8 ounce, and they're on a #1 hook. Appreciate you guys coming in. You have a small shop that you make great. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's cluttered though. It's small, but we put out a bunch of jigs every year. My wife, she would be helping me more, but she's on some other stuff that she's doing. But we were talking about it last night. I think I'm going to be able to handle these stores, these new ones that are coming in. I'm just happy to still be in business and be able to pay bills and stuff. We got these 1/8 ounce here. We got to do a bunch of, I think we're probably going to move over to the 16th ounce. Okay, let's get these over. You got that all nice and filled up. Okay, let's get some number 4s out. We don't have hardly any of these left in here. Uh-oh. Have to get the magnet out. Where did it go? Where did it go? We got a hook somewhere around here. We probably have hooks everywhere on the floor, in the back. Oh, there it is. Found it. Okay, let's get another box out. Number 4s. Okay, let's see how many of these I got left. And 3 boxes. About to spill out. Six. Okay, that's it. Just have 3 boxes left. So we got enough to maybe get us till the end of the year. And then I'm going to have to order more. Usually when we order hooks, we'll get, I don't know, 10, 20,000 at a time. We go through a lot of hooks. Let's see, we got any more hiding back there? We do, we do. Oh, just lost another hook. Try to use the black hooks. They're kind of neutral. We could use the bronze hooks, but try not to. Welcome in, guys. Yeah, we're out of Northeast Oklahoma, out of Claremore, just a little bit north of Tulsa. These here are the 1/16 ounce. There we go. There we go. That's what they look like right there. A lot of the stores that we picked up are just going to have the 1/16 ounce, and the only one that's doing the 1/8 ounce and the 1/16 are going to be the Roland Martin stores. And then we are getting in one of the stores, I think it's Gerard's. I think they're gonna carry some of the 1/16 ounce, but they're gonna carry our jig heads with bait keepers. These are the 1/16 ounce. Welcome in, guys. Appreciate that. Hope everybody's doing well today. These are 1/16 ounce with the number 4 Mustad sickle hook. Appreciate everybody in here. Are you still in here, Wisconsin? I don't know if you're still in here, buddy. I didn't know what kind of baits he makes. I was going to ask him, what kind of bait do you make? Another question. How do you go about pricing your jigs? As you well know, if your prices are too high, you won't get as much people. You just have to balance it out. If you get them really low, you're not making any money, and you're just spinning your wheels, and you're not making. You got to have enough profit there to pay yourself and pay your bills. There's a lot of people out there, especially on some of these other apps, they're selling their jigs so cheap. And I know they're trying to get their foot in the door, but there comes a point to where it's kind of like with our prices. There's people that are out there making baits, and they're like, well, Ruben has his prices at $7.99. I could get, if he's getting $7.99, I might as well be getting $7.99 a pack for my jigs. Well, the thinking in that is kind of off, because I've been doing this for 15 years, and some of these companies have only been doing them for maybe 6 months. And, you know, and so what people are paying for is not just the name with our lures, they're also paying for the experience that I have, and that they're going to get one of the, you know, one of the best one of the best made jigs out there on the market. So when it comes to pricing out your lures, you got to, you know, whatever you can live with. Everybody has a different cost of living. We're very fortunate to where here in Oklahoma, our cost of living isn't that great, but we do sell nationwide. So to somebody to buy a pack of lures for $6.99, and I'm going to use this as an example. Up in the Northeast, people will pay like 12 to 15 bucks for a pack of these. They're basically paying anywhere from $5.50 to $6 a lure just for a round-headed jig. You go to some of these places up in the Northeast, well, to them, $6.99 is not a whole lot of money. They're like, wow, I could get 3 packs of, you know, I could get a 3-pack for $6.99. I've been buying them local from our local bait store for, you know, 15 bucks a pack. And so you just got to figure out what your cost of living is, you know, what your main audience buys. 16ths are probably our #1 selling lure as far as size. And that's what you got to do. You know, you just got to, there's a lot of people that get into the bait making, especially during COVID, when you had a lot of lockdowns. In some ways, COVID helped us out a lot because we had a lot of business, and I was able to employ, you know, 4 or 5 people full time. But it did a lot of disservice because there were a lot of people that went into the bait making, didn't know what they were doing, and they kind of saturated the market with a bunch of cheap product and cheaply made, and they had no experience in making baits. Yeah, I got to go do something here real fast. Hang on, guys. I got to open up the blinds. So there's a whole lot that goes into your bait making. Some people, there's a lot of people out there that are selling lures that don't have their taxes, their tax ID, they don't pay a federal excise tax, and they don't realize that if you sell something and it goes over state lines, that it is a federal offense. But you got a lot of people doing it, you know. That's something that you're not ever going to get away from. You just got a lot of people doing it. And see, I mean, in our prices, our prices are based on, you know, what it takes to make the product too. Some people don't get wholesale. They don't get all their taxes done. They can't get wholesale from Wapsi or Hairline or any of those places. They're getting all their material from like eBay and Amazon, and we were like that at one point, a long time ago. We were like that, and it's hard to get your cost of your lures down when your material so high. And then some of these guys are selling baits. They don't pay their quarterly taxes or their yearly taxes, and they're able to keep their prices down and kind of stay under the table, you know. Beautiful morning. Yes, it is. Hey there, Juggy. Yeah, there's Ernie there. Ernie knows. He knows about the high prices. Do them for, yeah, a lot of people make them just for the love of making lures and catching fish on something they made. And there's a lot of people out there, and they may sell jigs to their cousin or some of the people at work, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of people baking cakes today and decorating cakes for, you know, family weddings and gatherings and stuff like that. But with the bait making part of it, there's a lot of legal stuff that I didn't even know about until somebody told me, you got to get your federal excise tax number, Ruben. Because I was wanting to buy this guy's business out of Arkansas years ago, and I was hoping that if I bought his business, I could take his tax ID, I could take all his accounts that he had with all these wholesalers, and I didn't have my federal excise tax number. I didn't know what one was. He told me where to get it, and I went ahead and got all taxed up, you know. And then I realized, I'm like, oh my, we're gonna have to pay these $3 packs of jigs. We're gonna have to start paying taxes on every single pack that we sell. And so that's, our prices started going up a little more, because I used to sell our jigs just for $1 a jig on the round heads. And you know, now I can't do that, you know. Yep. So there's just a lot of stuff that factor in with your prices. You know, if you have employees, that factors into your price. If you're paying $3 a pound for lead, that factors into your price. If you're paying $50 a box of hooks, that factors into your price. We're very fortunate. We get a lot of our stuff wholesale, so we're getting at a discounted price because we buy a lot of stuff. But we've been around long enough to where we have our name out there. People know who we are. We put out a good product. Our customer service is pretty good. We get products out fast, and then we get companies that will approach me on basically making specialized products for us to use. Whether it be, you know, tools or things like that we get to, or chenilles, colors of thread, all kinds of stuff like that some companies will make for us because they know we've been around for a long time, you know. These are 1/16 ounce I'm doing here. 1/16 ounce pill heads. These will get eyes on them. To answer your question, I don't make anything yet, just an idea, hoping. Want to get into musky wooden lures. Yeah, there's just a whole lot that goes into making lures. At the time, I made them for myself when I first started. I never dreamed I'd have a shop and make lures full time. You know, let's see. Yeah. Again, I always thought, you know, I never dreamed of making lures or being in the fishing industry, and I've got to make lures for a lot of famous people, and that helps out too. I never thought I'd ever, you know, never dreamed of stuff like that growing up. I never planned on being a bait maker. When I tell everybody I got into this by accident, I literally had an accident where I got hurt, and I really believe, I am a believer of Jesus Christ, and I'm a Christian, I believe God's hands were in all of this. You know, for me to get hurt and for me to get into bait making, for me to do what I'm doing today, you know, um, I do give God all the glory and credit in it. There's a lot of things, because when I first started making lures, there weren't really a whole lot of videos on YouTube, you know, for making lures. There wasn't really anybody doing live streams or anything like that. My wife, you know, well, I'll take this back, and let me go back a little bit. My wife, you know, she never thought we would be doing what we do, you know, and again, there wasn't a lot of information out there as far as making crappie jigs or anything like that. And so a lot of the things that I learned as far as getting material, getting molds, I had to do research, you know, a bunch of late nights, you know, looking on my desktop computer, typing up this, looking at this, seeing if that would work for me, making a bunch of phone calls to companies to see if they could make this or do that for us. A lot of them in the beginning said no, because again, we didn't have a name out there. We had no connections whatsoever. And you know, now some of those companies call me up wanting my advice, or if I could try this product out for them or whatever, which is pretty cool. We've had fishing factories that will send me products to do make a review on them. We used to be part of a group that some of these factories would send me a reel and there was like no name on it, or they'd send me a fishing pole and it was a generic fishing pole. They wanted me to try it out, see how I liked it. I'd have to fill out a questionnaire, you know, if I had to make any changes, what would I do with this, you know, stuff like that. And I never dreamed I would be having, you know, doing any of that kind of stuff. But I have fun doing what I do. It is a blast. I get up every morning and I look forward to coming into the shop, taking the 20 or 30 steps to get into the shop and going to work. Live streaming is a different thing. Back in 2019, 2020, my wife had said, you know, why don't you start doing TikTok videos, and maybe you can teach some of these people how to tie jigs, or do some live streams. And I didn't know what TikTok was other than just a video with a bunch of videos with funny things happening. And I started doing some streaming on TikTok, and some of my videos took off, and I would get like 600,000 views or whatever, and that turned into something pretty cool. A little over a year ago, my wife was like, you know, you may want to pull back on TikTok because our numbers weren't getting that big anymore. And she said, why don't you start doing stuff on YouTube? And so I just made an effort every day to put videos up and to go live stream, do some live streaming, and it's paid off. You know, here it is a little over a year later. You know, we had what, 2,000 people on our live stream a little earlier ago. Been pretty cool. See our little channel grow. But I've got to make some good friends, like the Crappie Man Jigs. Brian Flies. I've been friends with him for probably about 3 years. Pretty close to 3 years. Let's see. Yep. Probably going to register that. Oh yeah, that is a pretty big trout there, my friend. Yeah, Burke sent me a picture through Snapchat, and that looks like a mammoth there. That big old trout there. Yeah, it's a pretty fish too. What did you catch it on, Burke? If you don't mind me asking. You 75 crappie. Only kept 17. Yep. That's a good catch too any day there. I'll get some more coffee here. Yeah, Brooke got him a big old fish. Okay, let's get some of these hooks shaken off. But yeah, make sure to subscribe if you guys haven't already. I do go live every day. I'm doing a lot of different things with lure making, and uh, anyway, just we do a lot of stuff for fishing. When I first started, I made these for crappie, and probably a couple years into it, I realized there was people using these for trout, and they were also using them for bluegill. And you know, and then now, in the last 6 months to a year, there's people using these for skipjack, people using them for pickerel, using them for all kinds of fish. Another mistake that a lot of people, when they start making lures, whether it be plastics or hand ties, is there's seasons to fish, and the summer months are the slowest months. You got about 2 or 3 months that are just super slow. Once the weather gets above 90 degrees, less people go out and fish, and it's one of them. You gotta save enough in the winter and the spring to get you through the summer. If you don't, you're gonna be starving in the summer. And we've had a few summers to where we just, it's like, oh my goodness, do I go get a part-time job somewhere? And we just hung in with it and been able to make ends meet. My wife, again, she's very frugal, and we've had a couple of years to where in the summertime it's like, okay, no cheeseburgers and pizza for us unless we make it at the house. Let's see. 13-pound braid. And a barbless single hook. Oh, okay. We got 500 people in here, guys. I appreciate you guys coming in. We got 317 likes. I don't beg for likes, but I do encourage likes. I know the likes, when you get more likes, it tells the algorithm there's a lot of people liking what you're doing. And some people don't know that. There's a lot of people that don't know that. Okay, we're going to do something here real fast. Let's get this closed down a little bit so it doesn't leak. Let's get our little dustpan out. Get our little area cleaned up a little bit. As you see, I'm gently brushing it when I do it. I don't ever like just because I don't want to be stirring up dust. That's one of the little safety things you kind of learn along the way. You start getting dust up in the air, and then you start getting lead dust in your lungs. And again, I've been very fortunate. I've never tested positive for lead. Appreciate everybody in the house. Thank you guys for dropping in. Ooh, missed one. These again are 1/16 ounce and a number 4 hook. Panfish dude, how you doing there, Panfish dude? Just first time seeing your videos. Oh, well, thank you there, buddy. You'll get a whisper out. Panfish dude. There you go. We got your whisper out there. I'm just pouring up some heads here, making headway. I still have a brand new pot that I haven't opened up. I'm going to use this 20-pound pot till it blows up on me. I always keep spare pots because you just never know when the elements are going to break. I may turn on this lead pot here and it may not melt any lead. So I always have a backup pot. I learned a long time ago. I've never been in a spot where it backed up orders or anything like that, but we're very fortunate. We have a couple of tackle stores in the area that sell these pots. And then I've had a pretty good working relationship with Lee's Precision Cast, where, you know, I try to give shout outs to NabTac and Tackle Bandit. If you ever shop at tacklebandit.com and you want one of these lead pots right there, you can save 10% if you use our discount code FLOW10, FLO10, save you 10%. We're still getting rain outside. At least we're not getting big thunderstorms like we did last night. We had thunder and lightning everywhere last night. My wife's had a cold. I hope she didn't give it to me. She thought it was an allergy. I don't get sick a whole lot. Hardly ever get sick. But I do have bad allergies. I'm ready to donate another wheel. Oh, you are? Oh, good. Me too, Wayne. Yeah, Wayman won the last mystery jig box. This Friday we're going to do the membership spin, and we're probably going to do two. One for the Ultimate Jig Nation members, because they pay what, $19 a month, and we have a lot of other members that either were gifted memberships or they have some of the other lower tier memberships. So we'll be doing a drawing for them too. But that'll be mandatory every month, no matter what, amount of donations we get or whatever. We'll still keep doing that, because we do have, I think, about 6 or 8 people that, they pay their memberships every month. I appreciate that, guys. We're getting ready to start, for the people that are the members, we're getting ready to put out a bunch of videos that are specifically for members only. Hey there, Jim. How's it going there? These are 16th ounce here. Yeah, these are 1/16. I did do a bunch of 1/8 ounce earlier. I may have to do a bunch more of those. But we're working on some big tackle store orders. Trying to get these tackle store ordered. We picked up a bunch of new stores, so they're going to be new installs. So it'll be really nice. I know they're only going to be busy for like about 5-6 months out of the year, because they're out in Florida, and they'll be getting a lot of the snowbird business. They'll be getting a lot of people that want to get out of the cold and snow, and they'll go down south, and we'll get a lot of these people that want to fish for crappie. I'm hoping that we could sustain business at least through 8 months out of the year and get a lot of the shell cracker business too, because there's a lot of people that'll fish for shell crackers down there. Ruben Flores jigs. If you hand deliver the latest order, I'll buy you a hamburger. Yeah. Oh, I'd love to do that, man. Maybe one day. I do appreciate the order there, Mr. Paul. I do appreciate the order. Thank you. Thank you a bunch. Well, I don't even know what you ordered. I haven't had time to see it yet. Was it just material or what? If you guys don't know, Stardust, he does make lures too, guys. He makes a bunch of lures. Ah, there's Wayman there with the 5 duckies there. Boom, boom, boom. Let me get that over here. Oh, golly, I can't press the heart. You guys make sure to throw some W's up there for Mr. Wayman. I'm going to screenshot that. Now we got it all saved. That way I don't forget. Muchos gracias. Jig heads. Oh, you got some jig heads. Oh, cool. And the chenille that's on sale. Yeah, that chenille's only going to be on sale for this week only till the end of the month. So if you guys do make lures and you want to save some money on chenille, we got a lot of our new age chenille that's on sale right now. We're looking at only doing that till the end of the month. I'm going to talk it over with my wife. I don't know if we're going to spread it into the following month. But there's always that chance. But we are going to have some other stuff on sale for October. We're going to be doing a bunch of other stuff on sale too. I appreciate everybody in here, guys. Thank you for dropping in. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're up to 329 on the likes, guys. Uh-oh, sorry about that. These are 1/16 ounce. That's kind of what they look like right there. Yep, we do have a large selection. We got over, I think it's now about 250 to 300 items on our site. Now, I know we're just a little bitty store, but to me, that's a lot of stuff for us here. We get people visiting our shop all the time, and I think they think our shop's a lot bigger. But we do put out a lot of stuff for this little bitty building. That's one thing I'd like to see Mr. Brian, the flysmith, have his own building where he has a studio in there and all that kind of stuff. I hope he gets there one day. We do have our mystery jig boxes on sale still. And that's the mystery jig boxes. They are still on sale. You can save anywhere from 20 to 40 bucks on one of those boxes. We do keep a lot of them already in stock that are ready to go out the door. What else do we have on sale? Oh, right now to the end of the month, for every 3 packs of lures you guys buy, we're going to be throwing in a 4th surprise pack in there for free. So every 3 pack of lures you buy, we're going to be throwing in a 4th pack. We'll be giving away a 4th pack for free. It'll be a mystery pack. It may be the same size. It'll most likely be a different color. maybe a different size. But we are going to be giving away a 4th pack for free. It gives people the chance to experience different sizes, different colors that they normally wouldn't buy. And it's also a good way for us to give thanks for business. We're probably also going to be doing our giveaway for the customer of the month. We do a drawing. I don't think we've ever had it on a live video where we do our customer appreciation giveaway. What we do is for everybody put a purchase in our site, like for the month of September, in the first week of October, we'll take all those names of all the customers and we'll put them in a drawing, and we'll give away, 1 or 2 packs of jigs or a pack or 2 of chenille or whatever. We do that every month. We've been doing it for almost 10 years. And you do also everybody gets a free sticker when they order too. Free sticker. A couple of years back, my wife and I went fishing below the dam, and we went way below the dam. We went, about 100 yards, 200 yards away from the dam. We went to a place we'd never been to before, and there's this place you could park way downstream, and it has like a metal rail there, and on that metal railing there was one of our stickers there. And it's like one of our stickers that we did maybe the first or second year that we ever had stickers. It was like an old sticker. I was surprised to see it, but hey, we get free advertising, I guess. Okay guys, I'm going to get ready to take a break here. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to do so. I'm probably going to take about a 30-minute to an hour break. And I do look forward, well, let me do that. I'm not going to get off air right now, so let me do this here real fast. Let's get that. We're going to go ahead and unload the little bit of lead that's in the pot. Now when you're unloading your pot, I always try to keep it, now I'm talking about that pot right there, I try to keep it about down to there, probably about 25-30% of the pot. You're never supposed to empty it out all the way. If you keep your pot too full, what ends up happening is your elements in there, on this pot you do have 2 heating elements, and when you turn your pot back on, it has to work overtime to heat up all that lead. And what will happen with the little thermostat that's in there, it'll be to where it has to crank up all the way, and you end up burning up your elements. So you aren't supposed to empty it out all the way either. It's also not good for your pot. So we're going to be emptying out this pot a little bit. Let's see, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that dude is still hot. Still pretty hot. So I appreciate everybody watching and hanging out with me. And we will catch you guys later. You guys be good. Goodbye. God bless.